Someone asked in the comments, why does God talk to you? I am an avatar of God, the Arcturians, Muhammad and Aisha, Krishna and Radha, and Matthew and Joan of Arc.
Aliens try communicating. Humans are too dumb to notice.
Support the making of a movie about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha.
Greetings from the Arcturians. This is a message for Bollywood's Tabbo. Greetings, Tabbo. Hey, how are you? How you doing out there? I hope you're well. Now, the night before, Jin Kumari, who is here with me right now as well. Yes, she's saying she is here with me right now too. So, Jin Kumari told me that you've been thinking and wondering about something. And now I just want to say that, I've been encouraging interaction, but I can understand that, people are still hesitant in coming to me and asking me about things or asking me questions about things that, they're thinking about and they're wondering about, because they're watching me, because you're watching me, because you guys are watching me. And so, you have things on your mind, and you have questions. So personally, I would have preferred that, you just came to me and asked me, like, my personal email is there in the description, so you could have just emailed me and asked me about this. But I understand that, all of you are hesitant in coming to me and talking to me at this point, so it's okay. But I guess that's why we're having to do the things this way. So Jin Kumari told me that you've been thinking about and wondering about reincarnation and why do we have to reincarnate and why do we have to keep coming back. Now, there are teachings on this in Buddhism. Buddha taught us about samsara, or the wheel of samsara that we are all trapped in. And mainly it's because of our karma or karma, in Hinduism and Buddhism, as they say, which, is to do with our actions. In Islamic terms, it would be to do with our amal, right? And not just in this present, current incarnation or reincarnation or lifetime, but also in our past lives or previous lives. Because the soul, the spirit, does not die. It's just the body that dies. So the soul, the spirit, which is Ruh for Muslims and Atma for Hindus, the soul or spirit lives many, many lives, taking on different bodies, taking on new bodies every lifetime, every incarnation, or every reincarnation. So, why do we have to reincarnate, or why do we have to keep coming back? Mainly depends on our soul's karma, or our spirit's karma, or our ruh's karma, or our atma's karma in past lives, in previous lives. So now I could tell you about what Buddha said about samsara, or the wheel of samsara that we are all trapped in, that we are all trapped in karma and, karmic cycles from our souls or our spirits' past lives, previous lifetimes. Or you could, read up about it by yourself, just look up samsara on Google, or there's a lot of YouTube videos out there on samsara too. And I'm sure there are books out there, on the subject as well. So, if you wanted to do some research and read up on it by yourself, you can do that. But I'm thinking of answering you and giving you a little bit of understanding about it through my own example and through my soul's example. And actually, I'm just thinking, yeah, actually, I understand why you're wondering about reincarnation, because Tabbo, I looked you up, and your name is short for Tabassum. Tabbo is short for Tabassum, and Tabassum is a Muslim name, so you're actually a Muslim. And when it comes to the religion of Islam, and when it comes to Muslims, there's no talk of reincarnation and karma or karma, right? So how would you know about it being a Muslim? And, how would all the other Muslims, I don't know how many, 1.8 billion Muslims out there on planet Earth right now, or something like that. It's over 1 billion Muslims on planet Earth right now. And how many of them know about reincarnation and karma or karma? So I understand why, you're thinking about that and wondering about that. Because frankly, Muslims haven't been taught about reincarnation and karma. I mean, this is pretty common when it comes to Hinduism and Buddhism, but when it comes to the religion of Islam, nothing. No one talks about reincarnation. And actually, why do they not talk about it? Because they don't know, right? Nobody's told them about reincarnation. So the Muslim world does not know. The Muslim world is not aware of reincarnation, even though there is a mention of reincarnation and karma in the Muslim holy book, Quran. But how many Muslims actually know about that? How many Muslims are actually aware of that and know about that? And how many Muslims have actually interpreted those Quran verses in the way that I'm going to interpret them now? How many Muslims actually know that that's what these Quran verses actually mean? I haven't come across any Muslims in this whole lifetime of mine up till now that know what these Quran verses mean. I mean, I don't know. There might be a few out there, a few enlightened Muslims who may know. I don't know. I haven't come across any Muslims like that. So I'm gonna give you, these Quran verses about reincarnation and karma. Now, Quran 2:28 says, "How is it that you are ungrateful to God? You had been lifeless, then He gave you life. Again, He will cause you to die. Again, He will give you life. And again, you are returned to Him." Now, another interpretation of this same verse says, "How can you disbelieve in God when you were dead and He brought you to life, or He brought you back to life? Then He puts you to death again. Then He brings you to life again. Then to Him you shall be returned." What do you think that Quran verse means? And what this Quran verse is actually referring to? This Quran verse, Quran 2:28, is actually referring to reincarnation of the soul, of spirit, of ruh for Muslims and atma for Hindus. So this is what this Quran verse, Quran 2:28, is referring to. It's referring to reincarnation. Okay? Now, let me tell you where karma or karma is mentioned in the Muslim holy book Quran. Quran 99, verses 7 and 8. Verse 7 says, "And whoever does the weight of an atom of good will see it." Verse 8 says, "And whoever does the weight of an atom of the worst will see it." So when verse 7 says, "And whoever does the weight of an atom of good will see it," that verse is referring to good karma or positive karma or karma. And verse 8, when it says, "And whoever does the weight of an atom of the worst will see it," is referring to bad karma or negative karma or karma. Let me get another interpretation of the same Quran verses here. So Quran 99, verse 7 says, "So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it." This Quran verse is referring to good karma or positive karma. Verse 8 says, "And whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it." And this Quran verse is referring to bad karma or negative karma. So that's where karma is mentioned in the Muslim holy book Quran. Both good karma and bad karma, or positive karma or negative karma. Now, to answer your question, why do we reincarnate, or why do we have to keep coming back? It all depends on our karma and whatever transpired in our past lives or previous lives, or in our souls or our spirits' past lives or previous lives. And since you're a Muslim, I'll give you the example of one of my soul's past lives. For example, my soul's past life in present-day Saudi Arabia as Prophet Muhammad's wife, Aisha, right? And since Prophet Muhammad's soul or ruh has come back as a walk-in at this time into my body. So Prophet Muhammad's soul is here, is back here with me at this time within my body. So Prophet Muhammad is here with me too at this time in this way as a walk-in, because his soul has walked into my body at this time. So he's here in this way with me too. So what transpired in that incarnation or reincarnation, or in that lifetime of Prophet Muhammad and Aisha? What was going on in that lifetime of Muhammad and Aisha in Saudi Arabia? And then what got written into history about Muhammad and Aisha? And then how did it all turn into Prophet Muhammad being a pedophile and somehow Aisha being involved in poisoning Prophet Muhammad with Hafsa, I think, is what I've read in history so far. And is that even true? Is that even the truth? Is that what really happened in that incarnation or reincarnation or lifetime of our souls? And because it has been turned into all this mess in terms of, people thinking and believing that Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile and that, Aisha poisoned Prophet Muhammad. Like, how could my soul rest easy? How could our souls rest easy knowing that this is what has been done to our characters and to our reputation? So how could we not reincarnate and come back? How could we not come back to correct this, to bring out the truth about what really happened in that lifetime of Muhammad and Aisha? So, that's just one lifetime of my soul and Muhammad's soul. And, what could have transpired in that lifetime and incarnation or reincarnation of our souls. And then how it's been turned into all this mess when it comes to our lives being put down in history, and then how it's all turned into all this violence and killing and even, some Muslims going to the extremes of beheading. And these days we even have Muslims becoming suicide bombers. Like, how did it all turn into that? Like, when did Prophet Muhammad teach about all that violence and killing and beheading and becoming suicide bombers? What's all that got to do with Prophet Muhammad? But it's all being done in his name. So of course his soul couldn't rest easy with all this going on in his name. So of course we had to come back to correct this and to bring out the truth. And as I said, that's just one lifetime or one incarnation or reincarnation of these souls, of my soul and Muhammad's soul. So I'm just giving you an example and I'm giving you that example, that particular example, because you're a Muslim, okay? Because, as we said, that reincarnation or coming back depends on, people's karma. Now, it could be both people's own karma and or also other people's karma towards us, especially other people's bad karma or negative karma towards us. So if you want to apply the same example to yourself, you can wonder about, well, I'm here as tabbo in the body that I am, or the body that your soul, your spirit, your ruh has taken for this lifetime or this incarnation or reincarnation of your soul. So I'm here in this lifetime or in this incarnation or reincarnation of my soul, but why am I here in this incarnation or reincarnation or lifetime? Because what could have transpired in my past lives or in my previous lives of my soul that my soul have reincarnated and have come back into this present current incarnation or reincarnation or lifetime? You see? So I guess now you can wonder about that. And also, I just want to say this. We as Muhammad and Aisha for Muslims, at the soul level, because that's who we are for Muslims. Of course, we are who we are for Hindus, and we are who we are for Jews and Christians at the soul level too. But for Muslims, we are Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Aisha for Muslims at the soul level. And we had to come back because of other people's negative karma or bad karma towards us, which I just explained, as in, other people have turned Prophet Muhammad into a pedophile, and other people uh, turned Aisha into someone who poisoned Prophet Muhammad. This is other people's bad karma or negative karma towards Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Aisha. Are you getting my drift? And so we had to come back because our souls could not rest easy with all of this going on in our names, especially in Prophet Muhammad's name. And that's why we are asking for a movie to be made on Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, so we can bring out the truth and tell our story and bring out the truth and tell people, and not just the Muslim world but also the non-Muslim world and the West, because Prophet Muhammad being a pedophile is, you know, just as much as a non-Muslim issue and you know, an issue in the West as well. You know, it's like an international issue. So, and a worldwide phenomena, like, you know, so that's why we're asking for a movie to be made on Prophet Muhammad and Aisha and what truly transpired in that lifetime of ours, and, you know, to bring out the truth about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, so everyone can know the truth about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, and so we can set the record straight once and for all. And so we can resolve all this violence and killing and murder and even suicide bombings these days, you know, when it comes to the Muslim world, and when it comes to some Muslims even becoming suicide bombers because they're being brainwashed and, you know, with false religious programming in the name of Prophet Muhammad and Allah. And it's just, all of it needs to come to an end now. We cannot allow all of this mess and all of this nonsense to continue in our names, and all these lies in our names, especially in Prophet Muhammad's name. I hope you understand. Because look at what happened in India in 2022 with Nupur Sharma incident. I mean, it was all over the news. You can look it up if you don't know about it. Where, you know, I think she kind of ended up calling Prophet Muhammad a pedophile, and then all hell broke loose in India. And I suppose there were violent protests and probably a lot of violence, and I think a couple of Muslims ended up beheading a Hindu tailor even. So, and then also, of course, there was like a diplomatic storm around the world, and, you know, with other Muslim countries and the Middle East around the world too, because of this. So, like, who's going to put an end to all of this violence and killing and murdering and beheading and all this suicide bombings? Like, all of this mess has been created in whose name? In Allah's name and in Prophet Muhammad's name, right? So who's gonna clean it up? Who's going to clean up this mess? Only we can. That's why we had to come back to clean up all this mess in our names, especially in Prophet Muhammad's name. And that's why we're asking for Prophet Muhammad and Aisha's movie to be made, so we can bring out the truth about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha too, to the world, not just the Muslim world, but also the non-Muslim world and the West too, because, you know, as I said, this is an international issue. The West thinks that Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile too. So it's gonna be, us bringing out the truth about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha to the world through this movie. That's why we're asking for a movie. And that's why we're asking for this movie to be made on Prophet Muhammad and Aisha. So I hope I've answered your question, and I hope that helps. Take care, Tabo. Over and out.